Hey guys, my name is Dylan Racer, and today I'm going to be commentating over a iRacing video that I recently just did, as you can see in the background. I was playing VR this time, and was driving in the BMW M4 GT4 car. It's a very exciting car to drive, and it's a very good sort of beginner car for iRacing once you move up licenses. But anyways, I'm going out of here for the out lap right now, and it's a rolling start, so once we reach the starting line, it's gonna be a very interesting start to the race. It was a very tough race, especially in the first couple of laps. I was in a very tight battle with the second place driver, and to the point where he got in front of me at one point. So now I'm gonna stop commentating and just let you guys see the rest until the race starts. Okay, the race is about to start. Where the safety car goes in. I'm going around the corner and I slam on throttle. Time to start the race. Alright, the green flag is flown. And I believe to my left, yes, the second place driver cuts in front of me and is able to take first place from me. I'm very close to taking it back, but then he just barely gets in front of me. I come around here. I usually stay in third gear around this entire section because there's not enough speed to upshift, and it's just fast enough to have to keep me in third gear. So this whole section is pretty much in high revs the entire time because the car is not able to change gears really, or else I'll lose a lot of time. So through here, he sort of starts to get away from me on the straight and tries to get me out of his toe. But luckily, I'm just able to keep up with him through the turns. He has a bit of a later brake than I do, and I sort of have a late apex here and get a faster out straight speed through here. So right here, I'm still sort of experimenting a little bit with my lines, but still trying to keep it consistent so that I can try and catch up with this guy. And I'm just barely catching up with him, like about a tenth every lap. And right here, he brakes at that turn, so that gets me a lot closer to him. And I think at this point I'm in his toe now, so I can start catching up to him on the straight. I try to cut on the inside right here, but it doesn't quite work, so I try to just find my way around through these turns. I sort of back up and allow myself to get some speed back so I can still stay ahead of the third place driver who's starting to catch up with us because we're losing a lot of time fighting each other. So, as you can see in the left mirror right there, here he gets a bit of a faster exit, but I get the earlier throttle, so I'm able to just keep behind him the entire time. I believe I was just barely out of his toe at that point because my speed didn't seem to be increasing that much. This point he messes up, but I'm not able to take advantage of that because he just barely goes in front of me. and I can't weave through, and that cost me a lot of speed too, and was able to pull away for a second there. He goes a lot wider there, and that sort of costs him a lot of time on that turn. And I'm able to go almost full throttle through that little tight part right there and out to this wide part to go straight. So this part I'm definitely in his toe, and I'm able to keep speed with him. I think he tries to get me off of his toe here and tries to move around a little bit. I sort of pressure him here, and he tries to late brake. I brake normally, and yeah, I cut in through there and take advantage of his speed from the late braking. From here on, you can sort of just see him in the mirror to the left, and we're sort of just at it over and over again. At this point, I'm about almost half a second ahead of him, but I think he might be in my toe, so I think he might gain a little bit of time on this straight. But nope, I think I'm just able to stay ahead of him. This turn I messed up on. I went way too fast through there, and it messed me up a lot. Luckily, I'm able to make up time through here, though, because I've pretty much gotten these turns down. I just need to sort of keep tight with the curbs and not waste time going wide, and then that helps me a lot throughout this entire race. So at this point, we're still pretty close together. He's about like an eighth of a second behind me, and I believe it's in the next lap probably is when he messes up, and I pretty much am left in first place the entire rest of the race. Definitely one of the advantages with using VR for this game is being able to look to the left and right, and as you can see, I'm able to see where he is on my side mirror, which helps me a lot to know if I should be driving a faster line or a defensive line, so that he can't get past, but also I don't lose too much time. The rest of this is very intense because we're literally 0.3 of a second to 2/10 of a second close to each other. So this part I'm really getting pressured, and I think at this point he's in my draft, so I think he's going to try to make a move on this straight. Alright, luckily I brake a little bit later than him, but that really damages my next turns. Luckily, he sort of messed up on those turns too, so I was able to keep ahead. So, if you didn't already know, if I didn't already mention it, this is the Suzuka East track. It's the same track that is used for the Japanese Grand Prix in the F1 series. It's just a different variation of it, and it's a lot slower than the normal Grand Prix variation, and it has a lot of sort of slower turns, as you can probably see from this video, and it's just very hard to keep the car from oversteering a lot, because being in such a low gear, like the third gear throughout the entire time, the car is easily able to sort of become unstuck, but it also makes it that if I try to do the entire thing in fourth gear, then I'll lose a lot of time through here. So I just have to sort of be patient with the throttle throughout this race. And I believe it is right here where the second place guy messes up on the last turn, and I believe goes off track, and that loses him at least half a second or a second, because at this point he's now like 1.5 seconds behind me. So as long as I stay consistent the rest of the race, then I pretty much have gotten first place. So I believe that the second place driver's name is Ruben Portillo, and sorry if I'm really butchering that name, but at this point he must have damaged his car and that off track, because I start gaining about half a second every lap at this point. So again, as long as I don't go off track or crash my car at all, then this will be a first place win for me. So as you just heard from the spotter from the pit lane, the white flag has just been waved, which, if you don't already know, the white flag is the sign for final lap. So this is the final lap of the race. So I believe that this is a first place win. So coming through the last couple of turns, I really like the BMW GT4. They sort of recently just added it in a big update for iRacing, and it's a very good sort of basic racing car that I think if you're sort of new to iRacing, it's definitely a good place to start. So if you're trying to find a series to drive, I definitely recommend the BMW series right now with this car. And this track was again Suzuka East variation, and I found it, at first I thought it was a very boringish track. Here I am trying to get some donuts out of the car, but the car's tires are so grippy that I can't do anything. And then eventually I get told I'm going the wrong way, so I have to stop. But anyways, at first I thought this was a very boring track, but it's actually very exciting, as you just saw from this one race, and a lot of things can happen during it. So yeah, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.